Hey everybody, it's Amanda, and today I was going to show you 5 of my favorite journal spreads that I have done in the past and kind of tell you why I like them. So I think I'm going to start with this book. This was the very first altered book I ever made, and my favorite spread in this journal is this page right here. I really like this because collage is usually something that's really hard for me to do. I tend to overthink it, and this was really very easy. It just flowed right out and I did it, and I love the way it turned out. I have this old recipe page that was tucked in a cookbook of my grandmother's. I have this old vintage kitchen, which I love. The wrapping paper I use in everything that I'm almost out of. I had this right here, which was great for the first page of a journal, and I don't know, I just liked it because it was so easy to do. So that's a collage that I really liked. So let me show you another one that I liked. Staying in the same book, it's another collage. I really like this collage and I think it turned out great. I am a big science nerd, like I said, and using science books and science information, especially older information, is one of my favorite things to journal with and journal about and get creative with. This was actually from a box of slides that I used at work when I used to have to read blood smears. I would make them on those slides, and I stole that off the packaging before I busted into them. I tore the box open and I got the slides out and I kept that. But I really love this down here that says, so much is happening so fast that a man may be walking on the moon before you read these chapters. I love it. One of my favorites. So this journal is one that I made a long time ago. It's also made out of a file folder, and I like it. It's kind of bendy, and I like it because it felt like kind of like a notebook. But my favorite one in here is this one. I really liked this one because there was some protesting that led into some rioting in my city, and did I date this? I think this may have coincided with everything happening with George Floyd, and I just got really worried about my friends, my neighbors, and people out there who were people who could get hurt, you know, unfairly and unjustly. So I did this because I just don't understand how hard it is to be kind to one another. And I found all these quotes and I put them in here, and I put in this picture of the world that happened to have an American flag on it, saying that there we are, we're just this little speck on this whole thing. And I used spray inks and found all these quotes, and I love it. This is one of my favorites because I think it turned out great. It was not exactly what I had in mind when I got started, but the finished product, I love it. It's one of my faves. So this is my next altered book that I made, and if you guys watched my journal flip through of my very first junk journal that I ever did, and I showed that in a video, I talked about where I did some grief journaling when my dad passed and how I sealed it up and blocked that part of the journal away. I briefly mentioned rage journaling. And this one is one of my favorites because I know how I felt when it started and how I felt when I was done. And if you look at the background, you see all these colors and all this going on, and it looks like just doodles. It's not. That's the rage journaling. I dumped everything that was upsetting me and frustrating me and just making me angry and feel just icky on the inside, and I just scribbled it all over the background, just wrote it all out, threw it on the page, and I love the way that turned out because I felt so much better. I had found this in a magazine, and you know, everyone is helping you make it these days. Who's helping you keep it? And down here I said, whatever happened to living a life, not just walking through it. I felt so much better after I did this, and I know that people go through this where you feel like all you're doing is waking up, going to work, going to sleep, waking up, going to work, going to sleep, and it's just rinse and repeat, and it's the same day every day, and you never feel like you're actually living a life. You feel like you're just like a hamster on a wheel, and that's what this was. This was something that one of my kids had doodled. These were just scraps. I don't even know what that is. It's like a paper sticker thing, and I wrote on Post-its and I threw it all in here, and yeah, so that, I like this one because I know I felt so much better after I threw this all onto the page. The last book I'm going to show you guys is this copy of Go Down Moses that I had turned into a journal. This one is just kind of like a journal that I use to play and practice art in, not necessarily do like journaling. So this is the page that I like in this, and I don't consider this done yet. But one of the reasons I like this is because since this book is just for experiment with being creative and trying new techniques and being just in general arty, I tried this out. This was some collage on the back with some, gosh, I don't even know. I got ink spray, and I think it's acrylics and watercolors. And what I like about this is that this is one of those, what I call a thick page, because I've painted so many layers and stuff that it's now like a thicker page. I don't know, something about the texture of it, something about the weight of it, the vibrancy of the colors and everything. I just like this, and that's what journaling is. It's just there to make you happy, and this makes me happy even though it's some silly little flowers. So that's why I like this one. So remember, journaling is for you. It's to make you happy. So go do something that makes you happy today, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.